Okay.
There we go. Okay, we should be good.
Okay. First of all, like I said, I welcome every person that's here on this conference call, and I know it's going to bless them tremendously, not in the area of health, but in the area of wealth as well. So it's one of the things that's dear to me is I have a passion for health of the people that God created in this earth, all people. And I watched them over the years suffer and be in excruciating pain because of ignorance about their responsibility to the body. And what they are doing is giving all of their personal responsibility that God charged them with to a system that will use a knife and poison to deal with your issues. And as you know, in the second edition of Collegiate Dictionary, Webster Collegiate Dictionary, if you look up the word pharmaceutical, you'll see that it means the practice of witchcraft and administer poison. So there are certain things that I promote, even in my book even on my book about sometimes we need evasive type of treatment, surgeries and those types of things. But it should not stop us from taking personal responsibility on a sanctuary or body that God designed His own image. And as we know, God created us in His image. So it's our responsibility to ensure that the body is going to be well kept in health and wellness and doing exactly God's way. That's why Paul said in 1 Thessalonians 5:23, Paul said that when Jesus returned, He's coming back for a healthy, fit spirit, soul, and body. And then verse 27, he said, and post it and make sure and ensure that every brother or sister read that. So in other words, and we know, going to scripture just for a second, is that God taught us the things that we need to eat. We totally omitted that. And all different religions, where it's the lifestyles, whether it's the Islam, or where it's Buddhist, or where it's Hinduism, all those teachers of those people tell us that health is our primary goal. And all different religions around the world, first thing in all those religions, one thing that's in common is to what? Is to be healthy and to have a healthy body. And so that is universal. So, but we have been remiss in that responsibility, because what we have done is put our health in the hands of those that God had not called to be over your body. He called you to be over it. Whomever your religious persuasion are, the same thing goes with them. They teach the same thing, because I studied most religions because I have a doctorate of theology. So now they all teach that our personal responsibility is our health. Okay. So now with that, I've been in health and wholeness for 30 some years. Okay. So because people, especially in the churches, and not only churches, but people around this country and in a lot of communities where they're basically sick and have no idea how they got there. No one's telling them that it came from the plate, and there's some things you can do to make that situation better. You can stop all the migraines. You can stop the high blood pressure and diabetes. Matter of fact, I belong to an organization called Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. It's 27,000 medical doctors belong to the organization. And what we teach is that your disease is in your plate. Now we have an opportunity to turn that around. We can turn it around, not only change the things that we're consuming and eating, but just in case if you're addicted to certain things that can't turn it around, guess what? We have something based on what I have seen in the last 7.5 years, because I've been using this product, the ASEA Redox signaling molecule. I've been using that for 7.5 years. And that's why I was able to accomplish some of the feats that I was challenged to, because my body is healthy at someone 72 years old. So over 72. So my body is healthy. That means I'm strong. My body don't age, because I've been using this product for 7.5 years. So we have responsibility to get this information to every person that we know, even if we didn't get paid a dime. But we're going to talk about the payment that you can get, but just introducing something that's going to change individual's life in your area of influence, that where they're going to eliminate, decrease the pain and suffering that they're experiencing today. And I was looking at some of the people that I have recommended ASEA to over the years. And it's amazing with weight loss. It's just amazing, folks. Doc, man, I'm losing all kind of weight. But my primary goal is to deal with health. But a lot of people, what we want to do, we get excited about weight loss. So, hey, whatever excites you, go after your weight loss. But guess what? A lot of other things in your body are going to start to diminishing as well. From blood pressure to diabetes that I've seen over the last 7.5 years, just with this, but people that's using the ASEA signaling reductase molecules alone. I just have a testimony, an example, this morning with a pastor in Atlanta, Georgia, where he said that he had a meeting on Saturday with his staff, his minister staff, and he began to tell them what he had, and he was excited about it, and they asked him, what do you have? And he told them about the signaling reductase molecule that we're going to discuss, and more. Paul going to explain some more about this and how you can make money doing it. But he had 2 deacons and some of his staff. They had all kind of issues in their body, shoulder pain, knee pain, and different pains. So he had those samples. He gave them one of those samples, and they used it. And because I told them to use it, put 3 different coats on within 5 minutes. And but they just put 1 coat on. They said, "Oh my God, it's gone that quick." This is what we're dealing with, folks. We're dealing with I call it a nutraceutical that have 15 patents on it. It's in 30 different countries, and it's 100% guaranteed. So how in the world can you lose? I deal with a lot of women come to me. First of all, with stretch marks, with cellulite, with spider veins, those types of things that come to me. Say, "Doctor, how do I get rid of this?" I put them on things that take them years to get to turn around. You even have clinics that deal with those different skin issues in our communities. Clinics that do surgery for those. And guess what? This product will basically eliminate those issues, and that women are so emphatic about getting rid of. They're going through all kinds of changes. Not only that, look at 62% of people that come to me in my clinics. 62% having a problem with digestive issues. Guess what? Here, I haven't had one person yet that got on the ASEA that didn't change the whole digestive system around, including better eliminations. Most of them was constipated, and all of a sudden that went away. I give you my own personal testimony, and it's not even in the archives. I've not seen it in ASEA testimonies. Is that I was in Vietnam. I spent 2 years there. I had PTSD, and when I changed 7.5 years ago, when I started using ASEA, I was healthy as I could be based on corrupted genes. I was healthy as I could be. So I changed my health around, but what I ate, different supplements, those types of things. So the PTSD began to actually leave, really, for the most part. But I was still having these nightmares. I was having these nightmares. Instead of having them every night, I was having them about every 3 nights. This is the first day that I began to take the ASEA, those nightmares, that's 7.5 years ago, those nightmares stopped, and they have never came back. 7.5 years. Just the first day that I took the 2 ounces of the ASEA. I never experienced that again. There are people that have PTSD that I know that come to me, and I put them on ASEA, and they're having similar, but mine's a little quicker than theirs. Sometimes it would take them a week to get theirs turned around because I was already healthy as I could get because of changing my dietary program and using some of the top supplements in the world. But we can go on and on and on. I had a young lady was testifying that she had a child, and she was using the ASEA. She had a child before, and she had natural birth. So the pain that she experienced through natural birth. So someone told her about ASEA Renew 28. They use that around the stomach and the vaginal area. And when she had the child, the second one, she said she didn't even know the child was exiting the birth canal. She said it was just amazing. So these are some of the things. We can't tell you all the testimonies here, but if you go online, just the scientific facts and proof of what this Redux would do. It would change your life and the life of your loved ones. And so my thing is to get on this program as fast and quick as you possibly can, not only to bring comfort into your loved ones, you and your loved ones, but you have opportunity to make a considerable amount of money. So we're going to, I'm going to turn this over to Paul and let Paul expound on. Paul is part of the Millionaire Club in ASEA. And to be a millionaire, you know, you do some work quite naturally. And I plan to join Paul in the very near future.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dr. Dail. Yes, it is quite an exciting time for us here at ASEA. And of course, all of the amazing product benefits that Dr. Dail has been sharing, I've seen 1,000-fold over the last 9 years that I've been blessed to be able to travel around the world to share this amazing technology. But I do, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shift gears a little bit and focus on the financial opportunity, because the timing right now is very significant, because again, we've now proven the product, that it works, that it's you know, its efficacy, that we get less than 2% of the product returned to us, even though we have 100% money back guarantee. And so we know really there's no longer the product is on trial anymore. We know it works. Therefore, people now, if people focus on building their business, they have a great opportunity window to earn the greatest amount of income in the shortest period of time. And I'll expand on that here in a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and so I can show some slides and go ahead and jump into it. Again, my background is I've been with ASEA since October of 2009. One of the original diamond founders in the company. There was maybe about 500 distributors in the company. Today we have a few 100,000. As Dr. Dail mentioned, I'm part of the $1 Million Club. I was a member of the Global Advisory Council for about 7 years. And I won of various different awards with the company. I'm going to talk about how I got here. I started out my career, like Dr. Dail, in the military. My branch was the United States Marine Corps. There I was at age 17. And within about 4 years, I made the rank of sergeant in the combat infantry, and spent the rest of my career in that space. And in 1991, I exited the Marine Corps right after the first Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm conflict. Basically traded in my rifle for a computer keyboard, and I entered corporate America. I became a nerd, or a computer geek, if you will. And I was ready to tackle it, because, you know, I just didn't feel I was going to be able to create wealth in the military, and felt I had done my service, my time. And so corporate America, you know, in computers and all that. Unfortunately, later on, a few years later, I just started experiencing all of the things in corporate America. Corporate politics was one of them that made it very unpleasant, and I didn't feel I wanted to do that for another 30 years or so before even having the potential of retiring. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things I didn't like about having a job. Driving in traffic both ways. I didn't like having to wake up to an alarm clock that went off way too early in the morning. And that was starting to go off earlier and earlier, and my days getting longer and longer, having to stay longer and longer. I didn't feel that I owned my life. Matter of fact, I got about 2 or 3 weeks. I got up to 3 weeks worth of vacation, paid vacation each year, but I had to tell them when I could go on vacation. I had to give, you know, a number of weeks, sometimes months, heads up, and sometimes those vacations got canceled if a big project came up. So it was a lifestyle that I wasn't really resonating with. Now, fast forward to 2001, I decided to transition into the environment of being an entrepreneur. I had evaluated a lot of different things, and I determined that the direct sales, or the network marketing industry, people would call it referral marketing, person-to-person marketing, have a lot of different names, multi-level marketing. After evaluating it, I said, look, this makes the most sense, and it has the ability to create residual income, which was something that I was unfamiliar with. Okay, in other words, to be able to do work one time to be able to generate income over and over, month after month. Now today, Success Magazine refers to that as the U economy, and even more recently, Forbes magazine would call it the gig economy, because of a lot of the tools that we now have the ability to leverage, like the internet and social media, to allow us to create income and to control the hours that we work and where we work from. CNBC did a spot, and matter of fact, they said that half of the American workforce will be self-employed by the year 2020. Well, that's pretty powerful statistic. And so the world is changing, people are shifting, and a lot of people too are shifting out of the traditional business model that has lots of overhead, stress, headache, and a high failure rate, and leveraging this U economy model, if you will. So an ideal U economy, an ideal U economy business has a few characteristics. First off, low startup costs versus traditional businesses. We'll talk more about what that means specifically in a second. And also in the U economy, your startup costs are so low, they should be covered by in the form of tax deductions and write-offs at the end of the year when you go to file your taxes. Also should provide you with flexible working hours, not only the amount of hours that you work, but when you work. So some people say, I'd rather work, in the evening. I have much more higher energy levels. I'd rather start working around 3, 4 in the afternoon and work till 10 and 11 at night. That's great. You can do that using leveraging the U economy models. Flexible working location. For example, the home, a beach, etc. I just spent last week traveling to Washington. I was on a beautiful lake, Lake Coeur d'Alene, where I was, if I needed to do something, I could have, as long as I have internet access, I was able to, get on the internet, leverage that. And then I traveled to California, visit some friends. Great ability to do that. Immediate income potential, and of course that's what most people are used to. Do X amount of work, you get paid. That also is true with U economy models. There's a couple more powerful models in the income space. One is called residual income. That's when you get paid even when you're not working, and the ability to generate an unlimited amount of income. I know that when I was in corporate America, I literally had a stamp on my head that said whether it started out at $10 an hour and whether it ended up at $150 an hour, somebody told me how much I was worth. And I felt like I was worth more. And so if you're in that same boat, again, I highly encourage you to pay attention here. All right. Now let's talk about these last two, residual income and unlimited earning potential. Now, some of even the U economy businesses do not have these models. Let's say, for example, if you were a rideshare driver, I know most people have heard of Uber or Lyft, for example. You're only being paid for the time that you have a passenger. If you don't have a passenger, you're not making any money at all. So that's a critical thing for some of you that may be considering that path. And again, in the network marketing and the true referral marketing models, you have the ability to build an organization and help a lot of people become successful. And as your reward, if you decide to stop working, income still will come into your bank account. Very powerful concept. And that, again, is the industry I will refer to as network marketing, although there are different terminologies for it. Now, it truly is a movement, and it's picking up. If you look at it year over year, it has increased. And this is even from 2014. It was 183 billion. It's approaching a $200 billion a year industry. How big is that? Well, it's bigger than the music industry, the movie industry, and the sports and energy drink industries combined. That is really, I think, a powerful analogy there. And it's created more millionaires than any other industry. So again, if you are looking to have the best shot with the least amount of risk, this is what I feel is the average person's best shot at achieving extraordinary income. And it's been endorsed by so many world thought leaders, billionaires, economists, etc. There's a few pretty well-known, famous people on your screen here. And if you look at it, like I was mentioning, the difference of doing a network marketing business versus a traditional business, take McDonald's, for example, is that would cost you $1 million to over $2 million just to start one of those. If you're going to start a Taco Bell, well, you'd need at least 750,000 of liquid investment and be able to prove that you have over $1.5 million of net worth. Again, that really is not the average person's best shot. A frozen yogurt place where you actually pour the yogurt in the cups, or you out of a refrigeration thing and you put your toppings on it. Even something that seems so simple with just machines there, are average over $300,000. In that case, that'd be like a Menchie's frozen yogurt. So again, really out of range for most people. An ASEA business, less than $1,000 to start. And I've got a great personal experience, because in 2009, when I started my ASEA business, which was less than $1,000, it was actually a little less than $500 to start my ASEA business. I had a friend who started a cupcake franchise, and he invested over $320,000 to start that business. Within 3 years, couldn't make it. So he had to fold it up. And I had other friends, that were laughing at me. Oh, you're doing one of those pyramid things, and whatever the terminologies were. But basically, they were putting in $10,000, $30,000, $50,000 into my friend's franchise, which didn't make it. And they didn't recoup their initial investment. And in the meantime, my little $500 business around that, little after year 3, had exceeded over $1 million in commissions. Again, when you combine that with the fact of no overhead, very little overhead. I didn't have employees. I didn't have to pay for a physical building, equipment maintenance, legal contracts, all that stuff, right? That's what my $500 paid and covered. And yet I was able to generate a significant amount more of income going on the upstream in a few years' time. So it's an extraordinary opportunity for everyone. What you're seeing on screen now are actual diamonds in our company. People who have hit some of the highest ranks in our company, making multiple 5 figures, some of them even over 6 figures per month in income. These are some of the things that they used to do, from construction workers, ski instructors, single moms, medical doctors, bodybuilders, waitresses. You can see there's no real prerequisite on where you came from. It's about where you're going. And if you're coachable, you're willing to learn, you're willing to take action and do it consistently on a daily basis or weekly basis even, you can generate success with us, as again, so many people from diverse industries have so far. Now, there are thousands of direct sales or U-economy businesses, network marketing, multi-level businesses, right, out there. Question is how do you select one that has the greatest potential for success? And you need to look for 5 key elements, okay? And these are what's on your screen, and I'm going to go over each one here really quick. Starting out with the leadership of the company, who's running the ship. Because no matter what kind of product you have, no matter how great of a product it is, and I've seen some great products out there that the companies went under because they had people who either didn't know what they were doing to manage and run the company, or didn't have enough access to capital to be able to fund the business model. Or the worst case is when they didn't have integrity and or a good set of values. So our senior leadership team has over 200 years of combined business experience in both the traditional business model as well as in the network marketing business model. They come from Fortune 500, even Fortune 50 backgrounds. So again, a proven track record of success. And they've proven it here at ASEA. They've been profitable every year since inception. They actually carry no debt. Since the 10th month of being in business, they've been debt-free. And I don't know how many companies can make that claim, but it's due to their great pedigree and great history of success. We have a scalable infrastructure capacity to produce $800 million of product per year, and that can even be increased because the way they designed the manufacturing facility is modular, and then within a few months they could increase that significantly. And they maintain the highest quality standards, an FDA registered, GMP, NSF compliancy, kosher certified. So again, highest certifications, and this is the only place that this product is manufactured. Not, less than 20% of the companies in our industry can claim that they manufacture their own product, and ASEA does. This is our 50,000 square foot corporate office building. It's the home to about 150 of our employees. A beautiful facility. It is at your disposal. If you decide to become a part of ASEA, you can take tours, show people the wonderful background history and where ASEA is at. There's meeting rooms and all kinds of great spaces too for us to leverage. And that's in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Now, ASEA is currently fully open and registered to do business in 26 countries, and we are expanding our Far East expansion to Hong Kong, Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, and Singapore. We can actually ship product there. We can land product. So a couple of the markets we are open, fully registered, but again, you can actually start to build an associate base over there as well. Okay, let's shift now to the actual products that we represent. These products are highly scientifically validated. If you went to PubMed.org or just even Google search the term redox signaling or redox signaling molecules, you'd see now it's over 15,000 peer-reviewed articles that have been published on this field of science. And the Nobel Prize in Physiology, Medicine, or Chemistry since 2011 has been awarded to discoveries that were found at the cellular level. And our product specifically, ASEA, has been researched by some of the most prestigious scientific research institutions in the world, as you can see here on screen, from the North Carolina Research Campus to Stevens, as well as Tourette Laboratories that does genomic level research. So, I see other supplements and they say, oh, our product's been researched, but it's not their product. It might be an ingredient that's in their product, but not specifically their product, which is a significant difference. Okay. Huffington Post, this is the most posted news source on Facebook. They did a article that said 5 emerging technologies in science that will shape our lives in the coming years, and ASEA was one of them. It was the only product available to market today out of the 5. And again, they express their excitement for what the technology does for the human body. We have a science council and a professional medicals board, or medical professionals board, rather, that not only guide the direction of the product development, but also helps to validate it on their patient basis to thousands of patients. So again, we further know the efficacy and how well the products work on people. And there are 4 key reasons why you need to be using the products, right? It's going to slow down the aging process. So unless you want to get older faster than you have to, you need to be using ASEA. Because the challenge that we all face is that the older that we get, we make less and less of these redox signaling molecules. And that you can feel it over time, right? You get stiff and sore. You get tired easier. All these various things. Actually, let me show on screen here. Getting fatigued a lot easier. Looking a lot older, right? I don't think any of us wants to look older, especially over the course of just 7 years here, as you see on screen. Have poor sleep. Okay, I know so many people who say, I just don't sleep good anymore like I used to when I was younger. Also, again, getting stiff and sore. A lot of us, can relate to. So help to eliminate all that. Also, reducing the appearance of aging. Again, unless you want to look older than you have to, you really need to be using ASEA and our Renew 28 products. As you can see here on screen, some great before and after pictures from the people on top. That's the before pictures, and if you look at the row on the bottom, you can see the after pictures are dramatic. And by the way, these are all less than 28 days of using our Renew 28 product. And it's not just for your face. It's anywhere you have skin, Renew 28 works. As you can see, all different various pictures here of various parts of the body and how great they look before and after. Okay. Also, it's going to help assist the body in healing itself from health challenges. So if you're suffering from health conditions, and again, Dr. Dail alluded to this, the product is going to help you. Now, we cannot make medical claims. We're not a pharmaceutical, and for the reasons that Dr. Dail described earlier, we don't want to be a pharmaceutical because our products just help empower your own body to heal themselves. And again, ultimately, that is the best way to deal with health challenges. Okay, now one of the great examples, and again, another thing Dr. Dail mentioned earlier, is the ability to experience our Renew 28 product working within just 5 minutes. And if any of you have a sample tube or a full tube of Renew 28 and you're experiencing any kind of discomfort, maybe somewhere on your body, you have a pain here in your neck or something, what you want to do is first shake the tube really well and then put an application. You have to put a lot, but make sure you rub it in. Actually, I'd encourage you to be generous with it. Rub it into that area, and then we'll do that 2 more times over the course of the next 5 minutes, and I'll remind you. But think about that pain. Think about like on a scale of 1 to 10. Is it a 7 or an 8 or a 9? Think about it now, and then when we're done, think of what that number might be. Okay. So the final thing is that our ASEA Redox supplement is going to allow athletes to go faster and further and recover quicker. Recovery is a very important role in performance and continuing to be able to improve. These athletes you see on screen, whether you're a long distance athlete, a cyclist, a triathlete, even Olympic swimmers, as you can see on screen here, they've all had phenomenal results with the product. I have had the fortune of being able to meet some of them in person and hear their stories and what the product actually does, how they actually take the product, how much they drink, and to hear the years. Most of them have been drinking this product for years, and to hear how it helped empower them to even win Olympic gold medals. Matter of fact, this is a great picture here with Cody Miller. He swam with the greatest summer Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps. And he actually swam with him in his last race, in Michael Phelps' last race, that relay race. Cody was doing the one of the legs and got a gold medal. So wonderful results. So the bottom line, guys, again, I could talk all day about how the products work and bore you to death with the science behind, all the mitochondria and stuff and all the biochemistry. But the reality is, what are the results? Well, it's more than 400. It's actually approaching 500 million, $500 million in product sales to date. And even with a 100% money back guarantee, we get less than 2% of it returned to us. I think if you buy bottled water, you'd see a higher product return rate. So again, it really proves the efficacy and that the product works. And it also, we have 0 adverse effect claims, meaning that even if it doesn't work, it's not going to harm you. Why? Because everything in that bottle of ASEA Redox is already in your body. It goes beyond the term natural to native. Native means so your body makes this. And so if you put too much of it in, it'll just eliminate whatever it doesn't need through like urine or sweat, okay? Because it knows what to do with it. It's already in there and your body makes the stuff, okay? Very important distinction. All right, 3 times in 5 minutes, you put that second application on wherever that area was that was bothering you. Again, be generous, and then we'll continue and do one more application in a couple more minutes. Okay, compensation plan. One of my favorite quotes when it really encouraged me to change the way I look at how income is generated was when I heard this quote from J. Paul Getty, famous billionaire industrialist. He said he'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of his own efforts. He said you cannot create wealth if you trade your time for money. Basically, one of you times 1 week equals 1 paycheck, okay? And that you'll work for your life and you will never create wealth. And so our model is different. It allows you to create leverage. But imagine if an Uber driver got paid on the passengers, okay, that he drove every time they drove in someone else's Uber car. Imagine if he was able to do that. That's what we're talking about, creating leverage. And it's the ability to help other people become successful and get that 1% of 100 people's efforts, if you will, versus just 100% of whatever you do, okay? And residual income is created because our products and technology, they really should be consumed by everyone on a daily basis. Again, unless you want to age faster than you have to, look older than you have to, or go slower than you have to versus other athletes, okay? You need to be using it. Therefore, every month and every year, year after year, it's going to create a stream of income for you as you build it. The more people you help, again, the bigger your stream of income becomes. Even if you stop working. So again, ASEA is not just going to pay you one time on an individual sale. Again, your customer and your associates that you help, for the life of their accounts, you have the ability to earn income month after month, year after year. Actually, you can transfer this. It's willable and transferable to future generations as well. So as big as you want to build your legacy, you're able to do that. There are 7 different commission mechanisms in the pay plan. I'm not going to talk about all of them. Again, some of them pay you immediately, and then some of them pay you ongoing residually, and then the legacy income builds over time. I just want to talk about one mechanism called team commissions, because team commissions is the first start of the residual income building mechanism. Very simple. Let's say out of everybody you know, you were able to find 10 people who also wanted the amazing benefits of ASEA's products and technology for themselves, but also wanted to help other people as well. And if every one of those 10 people each found 10 people, okay, 10 times 10, of course, is 100, plus the original 10. That would be 110 people total. And so if you had, in our team commission part of our plan, it's based on 2s. So if you had 55 people there on your left and 55 people there on your right, and if each one of those persons there, if they were just consuming 1 case of ASEA Redox for themselves, so in other words, not a single person had a single outside customer, they only had 1 customer themselves that they were purchasing each month, then you would be earning $550 a month, whether or not you did anything. And again, even if you just stopped working altogether, that would get put into your account if each one of those 110 people were just drinking 1 case of ASEA for themselves each month. Very, very powerful. Now, what if those 100 people decided to go each find 10, etc.? You could see that this could grow very large, and for a lot of us, it has. So again, it's just an amazing potential where instead of waiting 30 or 40 years for a small retirement check, you can work this business hard. It's not going to happen overnight, guys. It's not going to happen next week, next month, okay? But maybe the course of the next 2 to 3 years, you can compress time and be able to create a residual income of hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars per month, versus waiting decades for nothing close to that. And we've actually demonstrated the results here. There's been over $148 million. And again, that number now is low. It's a little bit outdated in commissions paid. Over 61,000 associates have received a check from ASEA, and now it's over 20 millionaires have been created. And if you look at just our executive levels, starting at the bronze level, you'll see that about $1,800 a month is what a bronze executive earns. Our triple diamonds, goes all the way up to almost $60,000 a month. And we now have ambassador levels that generate significantly more. We have people earning 6 figures a month. So again, I don't want those numbers to scare anybody, because even if you just needed an extra $300 or $500 a month, you could do that here as well with the ASEA business model. Okay, the final application, 3 times in 5 minutes. So that same spot that was bothering you, go ahead and rub that in there. And again, I would say the majority of people at this point would have already started to feel a difference. But think about it. Let's say in the beginning, when you're paying, when you're evaluating, it was like a scale, like an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. What is it now? Very commonly, it'll be like at least half, like maybe 4 or 3. But I've had quite a few people say it's gone. And I think Dr. Dail had shared his experience with one of his clients that yeah, they said it was gone. So again, that's very, very common. And again, it's a testament to the technology, but more so a testament to your own body and what your body can do when it has what it needs. Okay, and again, just unfortunately, as we get older, we make less and less of these molecules. But now, for the first time in history, we can replenish these to get to give your body the best shot at helping itself. Okay, almost done, guys. Systems and support. We have amazing support tools that help go to work for you, to help you share this information, to help as many people as possible with the technology. You're going to receive a physical starter kit. Not all markets in the world have an actual paper and printed in their own regional language, but we do definitely here in the United States. Some of the markets, again, they're electronic version. And again, you'll get like a free tube. You'll get a free little mini tube sample of review. 28. You'll get a USB drive, a ASEA to-go bottle, and brochures, getting started guide, all kinds of great stuff. We also have a virtual office. Okay, so when you get started, you'll be able to log in and be able to see all your sales activity. You'll be able to access various library items. You'll be able to see new associates, track the growth of your organization, etc. And then finally, the ASEA Business Coach, probably the most powerful element of our platform. Let me just share that. You see, a business coach allows you to import your contacts, okay, and then you work with them in groups of a time. You can import from whether it's Google, like Gmail, to AOL, LinkedIn, Outlook. You can import them, and then you can start sending them communications like video clips, documents, etc., and you'll be able to follow up. When they open them or when they're watching the videos you send, you'll know how much of the videos that they watched. You'll know how many times they watched it. And that way, when you follow up with them, you'll kind of get an idea of what maybe they might have gotten stuck on or might have questions about, or if they watch something at all. So it's really a powerful platform. And then every day, if you just log in, the virtual assistant Jeannie there, she will tell you what you should be doing. You maybe need to follow up with someone. Maybe you need to put more people in the pipeline. So she's going to really help you to build your business and make sure that you're staying on track to achieve your goals. We also have multiple Facebook support pages, like Facebook groups, for example. This one's ASEA United, designed to help existing associates to build their business, as well as Dream, Struggle, Victory. You'll see people and their achievements and how they're improving in rank and achieving financial goals. Healthy Self is more product focused. So you'll see now it says 39,000. There's now over 60,000 members in ASEA Healthy Self, of people who are getting wonderful results with the products. You can look up maybe certain things and send them and tag people in it so that they can see that there are tons and tons of great experiences people have been having, as well as with the business and our ASEA Wealthy Self page. So again, it says now 3,000. It's now over 10,000 people here, and the great results they've had leveraging the ASEA opportunity. We also have live events and training events that go on around the world to educate, that you can leverage to educate you, as well as incentive trips that reward you when you meet certain goals. And they happen all over the world. I can't tell you the places I've been. I can mention a few here because of time constraints, but Costa Rica to the Virgin Islands to Hawaii. Actually, we've been to four different trips to Hawaii, diamond trips. Panama, Ireland is coming up this year. And again, the diamond trips and some of the other incentive trips, all expenses paid for 2 people in a 5-star type resorts. You know, we've stayed at multiple Ritz-Carltons, JW Marriott's, just some wonderful resorts, Grand Hyatts, etc. Now, our biggest event of the year to learn how to build your business and to build your business as quickly as possible is our global convention. This year, it's going to be in Dallas, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth, September 6th through 8th. Highly encourage you to not only attend it yourself, but to bring as many people to this event, because what we find is when people see it, they're able and experience the people there and are able to touch and feel all the new products and all the various things that really gets them excited, and they'll have the education to be able to take off from there and build at a much faster rate. Also want to make a mention for our Advancing Life Foundation. The mission of Advancing Life is to break the cycle of poverty and abuse. And it's been just a wonderful journey to be able to participate. You know, again, coming from a corporate America view, I was not able to do things like this. Sometimes it was because of financial reasons. Sometimes it was just time reasons, not having, significant amount of time. And I'll tell you, the last few years, each year we've went to a different country. Actually, we started in Mexico. In the last 2 years, we've been in Ecuador building a school there. We built water cisterns and ovens and things like that. But it's very rewarding to go to a place in the world where you don't know anyone and don't speak the language even per se. I'm trying to learn more Spanish now, but to be able to connect to people on a humanity level. There's something about that with again, no expectation of anything in return. Wonderful experience that the foundation has been able to create. Another partner they've brought aboard is Operation Underground Railroad, whose mission is to end human trafficking and slavery and child sex slavery as well, and they do amazing things. We've got a whole section on the website. If you want to go to advancinglife.org, you can see our partnerships and the impact that we've been able to do. So just wonderful things, and I think it's reflective of the culture of who's running the company, and the values that are instilled in them, and just again, these are my favorite trips. Like people say, Paul, how was Maui and how was all this stuff? And my greatest memories are digging a ditch in Ecuador in a jungle in the Intag region for the school that we're building there. Some of my fondest memories. Okay, timing from a timing standpoint. This is the fifth element. That's very important. We are truly at once in history timing, because ASEA is past the risky phase, right? We've already taken all the arrows and stuff and gotten the infrastructure in place, proven that the product works, have such a low product percentage return rate, and we've now expanded to over 30 countries. But we're still pre-momentum. We haven't went into that vertical phase. We're not a $1 billion company. We're gonna probably exceed a little over $100 million this year in sales. And yes, while that sounds significant, we could hit $1 billion in the next 3 to 5 years. So those people that get involved now have the opportunity to earn and generate the most amount of income, okay, in the shortest period of time. That's significant. Again, I want to repeat that. You can generate the most amount of income in the shortest period of time if the growth curve goes very steep, which is what we are expecting. These are actual projections. These is the actual graph projection here slide. Okay, and in closing here, I'd ask you to take out a piece of paper and write on one side whatever you're currently doing, and then on the other side, what's possible. And I'll summarize what it was for me before I went in this industry full time, 17 years approximately ago. I was having to wake up early in the morning to an alarm clock I didn't like. I was having to drive in traffic. I had to deal with work politics. I could only take vacation when I was allowed to, and a limited amount of it each year. I paid more taxes than owning my own business, being self-employed. And it was going to take me 20 to 30 years potentially to retire, unless the industry went sideways, I got downsized, right-sized, capsized, right? And for me to win, someone else had to lose. If I got promoted, it meant someone else didn't get promoted. It was very, mano a mano kind of a competitive space that was, I didn't like. Now, what was possible is I could sleep until I was finished sleeping. Okay, I do set an alarm when I have a golf tee time if I'm going to get up to go snowboarding. But typically that's not the norm. Sleep until finished. I work from home. Or wherever I'm at, really. Like I said, I could be anywhere and be able to get stuff done now with technology. I drive when there's no traffic, okay? And that is awesome. And because I live here in Vegas, I don't drive hardly. I take Uber, if I need to go somewhere. And it's amazing. I can travel often and write it off on my taxes. Again, traveling for me was as frequent as last week. Paying less taxes is a lot of people don't realize that when you're in a job, even though you're making less, you're paying more taxes. To me, when I learned all this stuff, I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. But yeah, you actually, by owning your own business and self-employed, you are entitled to a lot more tax deduction and keep more of what you earn. And you succeed by helping people, not by stepping on number 2 to get to number 1. You actually succeed by helping other people become successful. And the bottom line is, the more people you help to become successful, the more successful you become. And I like that model much better. And you can retire in a few years versus a few decades. Now, I will reiterate that it's a lot of work. It's hard work, okay? But I think that what people do in the corporate world, in corporate America, is hard work. So you choose your hard. because doing that stuff and waking up and all that stuff on the left here of the screen, I don't want to do that for 30 years, 40 years, okay? I'd rather get up and maybe in the beginning for the first couple of years, do work long hours, maybe, and just pound it out to be able to have the opportunity to work when I want, and to travel when I want, and to own my life, not have someone else own it. Okay, so that's what I did. I approved what was on the right side. And if you are in alignment with that, then I want to share a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. He said that in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. He said the next best thing is the wrong thing. He said, but the worst thing you can do is nothing. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to encourage everyone on this webinar here to get back with the person who invited you and get all the information you need. Get questions answered. I'm going to stop the recording here now, but I'll hang out. I mean, we've got a small enough group. If anyone does have questions, I'll go ahead and open up for questions. But if not, or if you have to jump off now, be sure to, as soon as possible, get your answers and make a decision, yes or no, because if for those of you who kind of just drag your feet, that really is the worst thing to do. And I think that once you get all your questions answered, you're going to be super excited to join us on our journey. So thanks, everyone. Again, let me stop the recording here. Bear with me for 1 second. Stop the share. Stop recording.